Hey everyone, thanks so much for coming to watch this video. Today I'm going to show you how to make these Jolly Rancher puzzle pieces, and I just think these are perfect for a nice cold fresh glass of water where you want to add a little bit of flavor, and of course it looks pretty cool. The first thing you're going to need is Jolly Ranchers, so depending on what flavors you like, just pick and choose whatever you need. And then at Michael's I bought a candy mold, so this of course is your puzzle piece maker, and this is made out of silicone as the candy is going to get extremely hot, so you want to make sure that you have something that can deal with that. There's 12 puzzle pieces and there's 5 flavors of Jolly Rancher here, so I think I'm going to do 2 of each, but you know what, looking back I should have done them all because I'm pretty sure this makes a full puzzle and I sort of missed out on that. So the first thing you're going to do is spray your silicone mold with oil. This will ensure that the candy does not stick and that they come out in perfect shape without any cracks or anything. So you guys, all you have to do is pick a Jolly Rancher. Now depending on the size of your mold or how many molds you want to do is going to obviously influence the number of Jolly Ranchers that you do. So I'm going to start with my blue raspberry, look how delicious that looks, and I'm going to put 8 Jolly Ranchers in here, which will fill about 2 to 3 puzzle pieces. When I microwave my Jolly Ranchers, I do it for about 30 seconds and then I check it, and then I do it for maybe 5 to 10 seconds more, and this is the end result. It is extremely hot, so make sure that you guys have parental supervision when doing this, and make sure that you of course use a microwavable dish, and be very, very, very careful when you do this, as I don't want any of you guys to get burnt with the hot Jolly Rancher melted candy. So you'll notice that this stuff solidifies quite quickly, so you want to make sure that you get to all your molds as soon as you can, and just make sure you do have a popsicle stick like I do to sort of cut it off every time you go in between each mold, or else your candies are going to get stuck together. Add any extra candy where you need to, especially with these puzzle pieces that have little extra ends on it, and fix any imperfections, and then you can just do the next color. Moving on to watermelon. Now, one of the biggest questions or concerns that I have in the comments is how I clean the dishes. So just like sucking on a piece of candy, if you put the bowl under hot water, it will dissolve. So either you can have the tap on running, or you can just pour some hot water into it and just let it dissolve on its own. Okay, we have 4 done. Moving on to our next 2 with the delicious green apple. Sometimes you'll notice if you have to microwave it a little bit longer so that the hard candy completely melts, you'll actually start to boil it, which is okay. You just have to be really careful, and you'll notice that there's lots of bubbles in this one, and what I should have done is stirred it a little bit before pouring it in, and you'll notice that all the bubbles will go away. And eventually the bubbles will go away once it sits in this mold, but it is a little bit frothier and so a little bit more difficult to pour it into your mold. So again, if you get to the point where your candy is bubbling, that's fine. Just first of all, be careful, and then second of all, just stir it around a little bit and all the bubbles should go away. And moving on to cherry. And moving on to our last flavor, which is grape. So now that I'm done, this is before I put it in the fridge, and I'm going to put it in the fridge instead of the freezer because I've noticed with Jolly Ranchers they actually crack, and if they do crack, it's not a big deal. You can always just microwave it a little bit in the mold and it should be fine. But this is after the fridge, so you can see I'm holding it up vertically and it's not melting out, and these little puzzle pieces are ready to pop right out. So I probably left these in the fridge for about 20 minutes, and they're not too thick, so you guys can always sort of gauge depending on how thick your molds are or how thin, and obviously time will vary depending on that. So I'm just going to take them all out, and I'm super curious to see if these puzzle pieces actually fit together. So it was somewhere around this time that I'm figuring, hey, this isn't going to make a full puzzle because I didn't use all 12 pieces of the mold. So if you want to make a full puzzle, then obviously use every shape in the mold. So if you keep your Jolly Ranchers in the fridge or freezer, I thought it might be a cool thing to use to keep your water either fresh or give a little bit of flavor to it. And the cool part is that when it melts, it actually tints your water the color of the Jolly Rancher. I think this would be such a cool idea for maybe a New Year's Eve party or even a birthday party for kids, where you can just make the water just a little bit sweeter, and of course it looks really fun as it colors the water, and then there's a puzzle shape at the bottom of it. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already.